So I'm an oldie, yeah. And I meet these lads from Newcastle, the proper sound right now. I'm only there with the kids and that, and me ma. I took me ma and the kids and oldie. So we're just vibing, and me ma's like, yeah, you go out for it. I'm like, go out. I said, with him on my own. But we're in this big top boss resort, you know, there's like all clubs down there. So I thought I'll go for a little walk around. So I just had a little, like, stashed half, you know what I mean? Little half, I'll go stash what I brought with me. So I thought, so when the kids are in bed and all that, I thought I'll go out and have a little venture out because my ma's there anyway. My ma's just like, my ma's happy just sitting in with a little, you know, a little beer, whatever. She's in the hotel room with the kids. So I ventured out, it must have been a bar. They're only babies, not babies, but they're young, so it must have been a bar. Must have been about 9 o'clock. So I'm just like, she's like, lads, we're on holiday, you know, you brought us here and this, that. Go out and enjoy yourself. I'm like, go out and enjoy yourself. And just marching around like a proper mushroom on my own. So I thought I was going to have a little look around, you know, just like a little adventure. So as I'm walking around, I bumped into these lads from Newcastle, proper sound. Like, what's that, lads? I'm like, lad, what's that? And I've got mates in Newcastle as well. So I'm like, what part of Newcastle are you from? He's like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah. I said, my mate's from not far from down there. He's like, yeah, what's your name? I thought, so I said his name and that, they're like, lad, I know him. I said, shut up. He's like, lad, I know him. So I said, yeah. So I just gets on the phone, phones his mate. He's like, what's happening? He's like, what's happening? I said, do you know these? He's like, yeah. He's like, lad, they are proper sounds. Yeah, put them on. So I said, yeah, I just go loudspeakers up on the loudspeaker and the told you that. And they're like, yeah. And he's going to them, lad, he's my mate, look after Scouser, you know, look after him. And he's like, sad. So I was like, yeah. So he's just like, you get into this club? I'm like, come on, mate, as well, go in. So I said, do you want a stripe? He's like, have you got lemo? I'm like, of course you want lemo, lad, but Scouser. He's like, lad, I said, yeah, let's go to your hotel rooms. We go to his hotel rooms, we get more stripe and that. I said, I'm leaving this here. He's like, sounds, we took a little bit out. Leaves it there, so just all fly. I mean proper sound. These Geordies are proper sound, you know. And I mean proper sound, like proper. So as I'm talking to him now, you know, it's obvious that they're active as well, do you know what I mean? I'm like, why did you bring that over? He's like, lad, we did, but we killed him the first night. I'm like, yeah, lad. How long have you been here? He's like, 2 weeks. I'm like, yeah, we're going home tomorrow. I said, ah, yeah. He's like, lad, yeah. He said, how long are you here for? I said, I'm only here for a week, lad, just a little quick one, you know, just out of the blue. Like, yeah, so with the kids and that, so I was just talking. So he goes to this club and that, so I'm like, yeah, mate, there's like, yeah, shots. So we're all just vibing, it's proper, you know what, it's proper sound, proper boss vibes and that. So, because long story short, it gets to like a little bit later on. Now, one of these Geordies, his bird's there, so his birds come out the hotel and he's meeting us in this cafe there, and these Polish kids are just all over it, do you know what I mean? So I've just looked like that, and I'm thinking, hell, mate, that bird looks at these test little kids. I was like, lad, that's my bird. So we just flew over. I'm like, lad, what are you doing? Like, oh, sorry. So I'm like, lad, you can't be doing that, you know. So he's like, yeah, it sounds so when the Polish kid starts like going to me, what's happening, lads? I went, what? He's like, what's happening, lad? No, like, just trying to proper lead to me. I said, who are you talking to, lad? He's like, oh, lad. So he's gone bang, he just butted him and just killed the old vibe, right? So I've killed the old vibe right now. I don't even know how many of them dead or whatever. So we've ended up being like, we're getting off from it, because where it was on the resort, there was another resort next to it, so you could just like move the internet in and out of all of them, do you know what I mean? So you had these wristbands on, and the wristbands, there was like red wristbands and blue wristbands, and blue were from that resort and red from that resort, but you could intertwine with both of them, because I think the two hotels were just like the same company who owned them, do you know what I mean? So even if you wanted breakfast, you could go to breakfast on that one, do you know what I mean? You had like free roam with both of them, because you could see people walking around the resort with like both like coloured wristbands on. So I was like, yeah, let's get out of here. Everyone ended up going off and all that. He's like, go outside. And it was like, you know, we're like a family place, but there's like dads and mums and, you know, they don't want to see that. That's what you come only for. So when just, like I said, just butted this kid because he was proper cheeky. So I bailed at these, and as we get off, we goes round, we just have a little venture out. So I'm like, lad, what lemons left? He's like, yeah, I've got loads, yeah. I said, sad. Because as I was having a stipend, I was like, yeah, I can have that having a stipend. I was just forgetting about it. Not that I'm not asked about lemons, you know, there's no me, I'm not asked about lemons. What is, mate, what's mine for yours? And if we're out, you know what I mean? So we ended up going round this other resort and that. So I had to just party, it was proper sad. No, and to be fair, it was better over there anyway. So as we walked back now, we're walking back now, it's like it's proper like dead quiet now. And you've got to be like quiet, you can't start shouting like, you know, everyone's in bed and all that. As we're walking around, we see these Polish kids, and there was about 8 of them, and I was just thinking, So as we walked past us all, I said, lad, we're just fronting. I said, you know, we're just fronting. So the Geordie's like, lad, yeah, come in. I'm like, no, let's not stand on. I said, you know what, I'll even apologise to him, do you know what I mean? So as we walked over, seeing him like that, and like, you know, his kite wasn't all messed up, but, you know, we gave him a good little bang, do you know what I mean? Just like proper, like, just shook the aggression out of him. So I walked over, as well, there's no way we could avoid him, we got to walk past him. So I'm like, what's happening, lad? He's like, ah, and he was like, sorry about that. I said, no, what, lad, sorry about that. So I ended up shaking hands and looking at all that. And then we ended up just like, ends up like half like rolling with them, do you know what I mean? So it's bells, it's bells, it's bells. So these bars, there was like little, like these hut things now, like the pools and all that. And they were open 24 hours, but you had to be quiet, you know what I mean? Just like, not security guards, but you know, like the people who work there, they're all like, shh, he's getting too rowdy. It's not like a lad's holiday place, but it just ended up like half being like that, do you know what I mean? But it wasn't like that, so you've got to have respect, and all the kids in bed and all this. So we're all sad. So I ended up talking to these lads in the post kids, we ended up having a laugh and all that, you know, no harm's done. We're all mates, let's go. He was like, I didn't mean no harm, you know. I've got mates here who live in Liverpool from Poland, and I was just like, you know, I was just taking the piss. He said, I'm sorry. I'm like, lad, all right, forget about it, Walter, a bit, yeah. Do you want a stripe? He's like, what? I said, do you want a stripe? So I said to the kid from Newcastle, like, go and get that limo. He's like, go on, sounds. He flies back to the hotel and comes back with this big bag of limo. So I'm like, yeah, so giving them just, you know, I just share, you know, sharing his cane in it. And he's going, lads, and they're all off the bar, all off our bar. It was just bevy after bevy, because it was like one of the places where you pay for everything. You pay it all the way up front, and then everything's just free. And it's like proper bevies now. It went like a buffet gaff, it was a proper sound gaff. So everything's just free, all like all the strands, just everything. You don't even need to go unless you're going off the resort. But where he was, you're not really advised to go off the resort, so it is what it is, mate. I'm following the procedure. You don't need to, you know what I mean? So gets off. So these lads are all getting off of that. So as we're talking tonight, I've took his number on, he took my number, and he's active, do you know what I mean? So he's talking about, like, me and him are just like on the side, just, you know, just little sitting by the pool, having a little stripe, just talking about how much this is, how much that is, do you know what I mean? He's going, yeah. I said, lad, yeah. I said, it's sweet. He's like, all right, sound. So what I could get him boxes for, he was getting them well dearer, but he was getting them from Liverpool as well. Do you know what I mean? Now, the lads he was getting them from, I don't know them, but I've heard of a few of them, do you know what I mean? So I'm like, well, what, are you tied into them? He's like, no. He said, no, lad. He said, I'll just go where I want and do what I want. He's like, you know, get over, come over when you get back and all that. Get on me and then come and see us, do you know what I mean? Now, I'm a man of my word, and everything I say, I try and keep to, and everything like that. So he phoned me up and we contacted him. And even while I'm still in Aldi, he still phoned me. He's like, what's happening, lad? I'm like, what's happening and all that. So, he's like, is this defo what? I said, yeah. I said, defo, lad. I said, you know, I'm not some like fucking mushy who chat shit and all that. He's like, yeah, I know. He's like, I know, but I'll be with these lads, and, you know, if I break ties with them, they'll get onto it. I'm like, well, what are you tied into them? He's like, no. I said, listen, if you're tied into them, you know. I said, I'm not like going to start all that. It means nothing to me. If you get it or you don't, it means nothing to me. They're just there anyway. So he's like, all right, sound. I said, well, yeah, well, listen, I've got a few days left now, and then I'm just going to be with the kids and all that. I said, so I'll get on you when I get back, and we'll sort something out. So anyway, gets over all that. So, you know, I'm back. So Dave wanted to be home. Dave went home the next day. I'll be like bad of the week. Gets home. So sorts all his shit out there, loads to do. And I just phoned him and that. So he had a couple of things at me. So I said to him, yeah, what do you want one of these? He's like, yeah. I said, cash. He's like, yeah, cash. He went, lad, if you could give me that for what you just said there, I'm made up with that. So I'm like, yeah, sounds. When do you need it for? She's like, I need it for like such and such. So I was thinking, I've got to do something. I have to go somewhere. I have to go away somewhere else. So I said, sorry, mate, do me a favour. Now, this lad who's my mate, he's my mate, but he's not my mate. He's going to be in the circle, but he's trusted his dad. So I said, do me a favour. I said, what? I said, take this to Newcastle for me. He says, all right. I said, I'll give you 5. So he's like, go on, sad. So I gives him a box to take to Newcastle. Now, this box hadn't even been opened. There was a couple of boxes. I got a couple of boxes, cheap, because I bought a few of them. And wherever they come from, I don't care. It's not my business, but they were cheap. So the man who wears it, I give him up for cheap. So it was proper heavy as well. Oh, one sec. So he made saying, whereabouts is it, lad? I said, lad, it's called Biker. He's like, what? I'm like, I remember Biker Grove. Because the lads when I was older, when he was saying from Biker, I was like, lads, you're lying. They're like, no, I don't, it's not even a real place. Like, yeah. So I was like, so we had it looking like, lads, like 3.5 hours or 3 hours away from like Liverpool. So I was like, all right, sound. So I was like, if you're going to collect it, then it's going to be cheaper. But if it's getting delivered, then it's an extra grand. Because I told you, know, I'll give him 5, so now I'll make 5 on the delivery. Obviously, do you know what I mean? So I was thinking, I always remember Biker Grove, and I was like, lad, you are now Ant and Zech, that's our names on the phones. He's like, oh, lad, you're horrible, you. And he's going, all right, well, lad, you're Harry Enfield's lad. Calm down. Oh, lad, that was like 1980s shit, that. So we had to get from Liverpool to Biker, right? Now, Biker, I've got a mate round there, right? And he lives by Walker, do you know what I mean? So I was like, do you know him? You know, I'm not going to say his name now. He's like, yeah, lad, yeah, sad. But that was a different firm, but I'm on that firm anyway. I think they've been nicked, not too sure, but I think they are, because I haven't heard nothing from them for ages. But heavy lads, them round there, you know, like that walking, that bike and all that. They're heavy kids, mate, I tell you. So it was all on, it was on. So I dropped the parcel off to me, mate, and it must have been about 5 o'clock. So I thought, it's going to take 3 hours to get there. Yeah, you've got to like 8, half 8 to get there, lad. So if you go straight up, it'll be sound. He's like, all right, sound. He's like, how do we get there? I said, lad, it's just 8 roads, lad. I said, just put it on the sat nav, I'll just get there. He's like, all right, sound. So it's all sound. Right now, I've got a party to go to, because I've got a family party to go to. So I'm just out the game. I haven't even took my graph with me, do you know what I mean? Why would you? It's a family party. So I get off from mine about 6 o'clock. Right now, you know, it's done. It's a done deal. The only problem could be is if he gets nicked, but he's not getting, you know, what are the odds of that? So it is what it is. It is Saturday night, but Saturday night busies are all, they're busy, aren't they, in clubs and all that, so you don't really see busies everywhere. So goes to my party and everything's sound, yeah, so I'm just vibing all my cousins and all my family. So goes to my cousins first, having a little stripe and that before we go and all that. So my ma's going to be there, you know, all my aunties going to be there. It's a proper family party, it's a belter right now. Let me tell you what my brother's done. My brother, right, it was a fancy dress. It was a fancy dress party, right? But I just went as myself. That's it. I'm not into all that other stuff to do, right? So get on this. So next thing, we get to this venue, right? And I'm like, where's our kid? Because our kid was taking the night off work and all that, because it's the weekend, and you know what I mean? So, next thing, my cousin comes in and goes, lads, have you seen your kid? I went, lad, he looks sick. I said, what? So I walks down the stairs, because he's walking down, and our kid's seen it, because he was out having a biff or whatever he was in, a drink or something like that. And he's going, lad, he's a gladiator. I said, what do you mean, he's a gladiator? Walks out, right, and our kid is rigged out in the sickest gladiator suit you've ever seen in your life, right? Proper sick, must have paid Bruce for on his benefit, whatever. And he's got a real sword. Like, what? How are you just marching through the streets with a real sword? He's like, lad, I'm a gladiator. I'm like, what are you on about? I'm like, lad, that's like fucking, lad, you get nicked. He's going, nah, it'll be sound. I'm like, lad, let me see it. I mean, listen to me, I mean a proper sword. Where he's got it from, I don't know where he's got it from, but he's got a proper sword. I'm like, lad, he's going, listen, lad, you can't be gladiator with a sword. I'm like, oh, you're mad, you. Now, on the Buffy, right, on the Buffy, listen to what he's done to me. This is everything. So my ma comes in, everyone comes in, all that, like, how come you're not dressed up? I'm like, oh, I've got stuff to do, like, oh, yeah, sad. So I'm standing there, right, and get on this. So I'm standing there, like, I've had a few stripes and berries and all on the party. Like, I'm going a little bit off talking now, because I'm just going to tell you about this party, because you have to say this, because it was fucking boss. It was the most awkward, weirdest thing you've ever heard in your life, right? And you know, I get he's fucking sick in the head, you know, I swear. So he's standing there all gladiators up and all helmets and and no, he's going, you didn't even make an effort. I'm like, shut up, lad, I didn't make an effort, so me and I, like, he's going, didn't you think he'd come, lad? I'm like, yeah, of course I'm coming, lad. So one of my so told them, I sent some kids to Newcastle and all that. He goes, yeah, lad, you just can't give it a rest for a day, can you? I'm like, lad, it is what it is, the kids on deadlines. He's like, who are the kids from Newcastle? I told him about it all and all that. He's like, yeah, so this Buffy, right, there was a big massive Buffy, but on the Buffy, there was like this big fish. I don't know why there was a fish there, but it had like its head and everything. It was like it's a proper fish, just slapped on the table. So I'm standing there looking at it thinking, what the fuck is, what, I don't know if anyone even goes near down and fucking batter him. Like, what would you even do with that? It's a fish. It's just like someone just ripped it out of the ocean and just put it on a plate, right? This big fish just snarling at you. So my ma comes over, she's like, hi lads, I'm like, what's that about? Alright, sweet. So me, you know, this is everything. So I'm standing on the left side, my ma's standing in the middle, and my brother's standing on the right. And my ma's going, no, your suit looks good. Your suit. I'm like, he's got a real sword. She's like, oh, he's metal. So he goes to me, ma, guess what? My ma went, what? He went, he went, before you come, I come over here, and he has his dick in the fish's mouth. My ma just looks at it. Proper inappropriate. I was just like, lad, are you fucking messing me? And he's going, well, that's it. My ma just bails, but I can see that she's laughing, but she's pretending not to laugh, but she's fucking crying, she's dying inside, and I'm like, lad, you are proper messing you know. He's going, why, lad? I'm like, oh, he's going, lad, I'm a gladiator, I'll do what I want. So when this party's finished, right, everyone's just blasted off the bar and all that. Now Kitty's just straight edge, doesn't have nothing, do you know what I mean? Just like has a few berries, that blasted and that. So it ends up spilling out into the street right now. One of my uncles is like, he's one of them uncles who just causes mad. You know, like he used to be hard in his old days, but then he just still thinks he is, but he's not. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So he ends up arguing with someone right in the street. So, because there's flames was right, and our kid's standing there with a sword. The fucking kid doesn't want nothing to do with it. And I'm like, listen, leave him alone, it's nothing to do. And my uncle saying to me, listen, I'm like, listen, I said, Jippy, you're going to spoil the night. I said, the whole night's going to be remembered about you causing murder. So he's like, all right, I'm sorry, I'm not. And he's always shakes hands, like, next thing, pull up, right? Our kid's standing there with a sword. Busy jump out and just like, what the fuck is that? Is that real? Our kid's like, blow my glasses. Kid, he ends up getting this. Possession of a pointed article. Just nicks it. Our kid is 100% genuine. He's like, what are you on about in fancy dress? And the bitch is like, yeah, lad, but you're bouncing down the street with a sword. And they nick him. Our kid looks at me as if he's in the right. I'm like, lad, I told you. I fucking told you. That's what, you can't just bounce around with a sword. Oh my God, what a fuck up. Now, to be fair, it did get NFA'd, but he got an 8-hour lie down, right? And then got interviewed. He got NFA'd in the end, right? So let's just get back to the story. So while he's been nicked, which was just, it was going to happen, there's no way it went. I'm just like, oh. So I said to me, uncle, that's your fault, Dad. He's been nicked because you. And he's going, oh. He said, what the heck are you going to do? He's not going to do nothing to you, but you're still a prick. You're a bellend, lad. I said, that was your fault. You brought us on top. And he's been nicked because you were having beef with just someone walking past. Now, the lad that was walking past, he was with a bit of a fame, and I don't know what's been said, but something must have been said. But then, as soon as we've all poured out, he's just gone, boo. There's a gladiator with a sword and a helmet on. And he's proper up for it, you know what I mean? He's fucking up for it, mate, like more than you think, you know what I mean? So, he goes back to mine. So I get a taxi, phone taxi, and it drops me mine off, and then it goes back to mine. So it goes to mine, and I'm just laughing my head off, thinking, nah, no way. So, you know what, get on this, right? So it has a big fat stripe, as you do, and a brand, and a few of the lads have come to mine, a few of my cousins and that. So I turn the graph phone on, right, and I've just got these messages from the lads from Newcastle on deck, just like, lad, I trusted you. And I'm thinking, I might just off my butt. So I'm looking and saying, lad, I took you at face value. You talk the talk and all that, and I can't believe you've done that. I was introducing this new fame, and I'm just like, I'm reading it, and I'm thinking, wow, what's just happened there? So I thought, it's proper bells. I thought, I'll phone him. He's like, oh, lad. I said, what's going on? And he goes to me, oh, lad, I can't believe you've done that to me. I'm like, John, what are you on about, lad? And he's going, oh, lad, you know what, Scouts, you know what, that's why they've got a bad name, and and I'm just like, lad, listen, I'm off me banner, right, I'm bladdered, and I'm just like, what? So he ends up, like, he's not crossing the line, but he is, do you know what I mean? So he's fuming, like, and I'm just, I sit in there, and I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to, lad? He's like, you. I'm like, lad, what do you mean, you're talking to, lad, what's the problem? He's going, lad, well, your mate, and, you know, you've done this, and I'm like, lad, you know what? I said, fuck off, I'm going to bed. I said, lad, I'm glad I'm off me banner. I said, I'll phone you up and I'll speak to you tomorrow, do you know what I mean? I said, I don't know what the fuck you're on about, but I can't even be asked, like, because you're either going to say something bad, lad, and I'm going to end up just coming down, just absolutely smashing your head in. He's like, what, lad, what, because you're a Scouse? And I'm like, no, yeah, well, yeah, basically, yeah, lad, because if I come down, I'm coming down in proper firms, lad, and you know what I mean, lad, watch what happens, lad. And he's going to me, oh, lad, and he's going to me, oh, you just proper palm me off with bash. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? I'm thinking, oh, lad, I'll speak to you tomorrow. So I goes to bed and all that, and like, well, carries on partying first now. And in my head, it's sick and I've turned my phone off because I just think, I can't be arsed with it, you know. I don't know what's going on. My head's gone, I'm just baffled, I'm proper baffled, do you know what I mean? And in my head, I'm thinking, he's never had swag like that, he's never had a limo, he's never had a box like that. Ever, because if he's getting it from Liverpool, then I know it's always been bashed and recompressed, and I've given it raw. Listen, I've given it raw, like as raw as it comes, because I got it cheap. And like, I'm not a liar, I'm not a rat, you know. You know, if you listen to this now, you know I'm not a rat. You know me by now, you know. You know me more than I know you. You've got like, before anyone even says a word to me on the channel, there's like 150, 60 stories what you can make your own like minds up about before you even say anything to me, yeah? So when people come to me on the channel like, what's happening, lad? Yous already know me more than I'll ever know yous. It's impossible. Yous have got that much on me. It's, you know what I'm like, you know me morals, and you know I'm not a rat. So, you know, be me. I'm like, I'm just thinking that kid's off his bar there, I don't know what he's on about. So I've gone to bed and all that, bells and that, so I woke up about the next day, and it's been about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I've thought, I'm going to have to sort this. I thought, it was the first thing I thought of when I woke up. I thought, what's he on about? I thought, was I slipping there? Was I whatever? I just don't be bad thing. Phones up and he's like, oh, lad. I said, what's the problem, lad? He's going, lad, you know what the problem is? I'm like, lad, I don't know what the problem is. And I genuinely do not know what this problem, I can't fathom what this problem is, because I've already opened the box, I've had my keys in a box, I've been taking stripes out of boxes. I know what this limo is. Lad, what are you on about? He's going to me, lad, it was just all bash. I'm like, what are you on about, lad? He's going, lad, it was just bash. I said, what, compressed? He's like, no, it was just proper bash. So I'm thinking, how can that be proper bash? It can't be proper bash. I'm like, lad, what are you talking about? He's going, lad, well, there was all, like, it was all on the brick and all that, and then there was just loads of, like, powder bashed. I'm like thinking, how? Now, the only way it could be, yeah, is the kid, but would he do that? Has he got the balls to do that? Doubt it, you know what I mean? So I'm like, so I said, yeah. I said, take a picture of it for me. He's like, and I'm thinking in my head, he's going to try and palm me out, because I'm thinking there at it. I'm thinking there at it, because there's no way I'm at it. I know I'm not at it. So I'm thinking there at it. So, do you know what I mean? So, what, lads, what? So he takes a picture of this box, and it's got a different wrapper on it. And I'm thinking, that's not the wrapper. That's not it. That's not what I sent up. So I'm thinking, these are at it. These are at the box now. But I don't know, like I trust people at face value, because, but maybe you shouldn't, do you know what I mean? So I'm thinking, nah. So now my options are, my mate's at the bollocks, or these are at the bollocks. So who am I supposed to believe? Yeah. So I phoned mate, I'm like, what's happening, lads? He said, what's happening? I said, do me a favour, even one of them need to take the box up for me. Now this was all just like in my own mind. I didn't even told the Newcastle lads that. He's like, oh yeah, sound. So I had a plan in my head, I'm going to try and see what happens here, because I don't believe these Newcastle lads. And these Newcastle lads, they don't know nothing about me, but, you know, they're going to be like valuable customers, because they're sound. I don't want to do all that, and they know my mate. So I don't want them starting, you know what I mean? The lads who they know, you know, I do major heavy shit with them. You know what I mean? And obviously these are all fictional. I do major heavy shit with him, so I don't want him, like, you know what I mean? And then, you know, if a scouser comes to me and said the same thing I'm working with, I've just dogged him, I'd be wary. So I don't really want that. You know what I mean? I don't really want that to go down. So I arranges a setup with the lads from Newcastle. I'm like, listen, we're going to come down, we're going to give another box, yeah. I'm going to see what's going on, right? So he's like, all right, sound. I'm like, listen, lad, I'd never do that, you know. He's like, no, what, lad, I don't know why, but I just believe you. And I'm like, lad, you fucking should believe me, lad. I'm a man of my word, lad. I'm not a liar, lad. I said, you know, we've been proper vibing, and we had a laugh and that now. And I only known you for a day before you went back to Newcastle and all that, but, lad, I'm not going to sit there and just chat shit to you like that, lad. You know what I mean? What the fuck do you take me for? He's like, oh, lad, I don't know. He said, I don't know, something's gone wrong now. So I'm thinking, the way he's talking to me, and he's like, you know, he's powered down a little bit now, and, you know, let's just see what we can do, like, sort it. Let's just try and sort it, because I don't want to start going to war with lads in Newcastle, do you know what I mean? That's the last thing I want. I love all Geordies. Geordies are the boss mate, and, you know, I've got loads of mates and all shit like that, so I don't want to start all that, because if my name gets set as mud round there, it's going to just affect things, innit? Because, like I said, I do bits with other people who are major players. These lads aren't major players, but my other mates, they are major players. So, and he knows them, so I don't really want that, you know what I mean? I don't want to start all, like, getting cast as a dog and a rat and a scout rat and all that. Nah, you're mad, aren't you? So I'm just like, all right, so let's just set something up here and see what happens. So I said to my mate, I said, yeah, bring these in the box up, and he's like, all right, sound. So what happens here's what happens in the meantime. I've phoned them, and I've told them that he's coming up with another box, and I said to them, you know, lads, it'll take him 3 hours and all that. I said, and he's like, but lad, will it be on time this time? I went, what do you mean? He went, well, lad, he never got here till like 10:30. I went, so you never got there till 10:30? He went, your lad. I said, my lad never got there till 10:30. So now I'm thinking, you know what? That's too much of a gap. That's like a 2 hour gap difference. So I'm thinking, has he gone home and bashed with the bitch? I'm thinking he fucking better not have, mate. He better not have done this to me, you know. He better not have made a show of me like that, because I'm a man with words, and yeah, you know, if there's little rats from that to me to make a little quick buck, I will proper batter him. So I said, all right. I said, well, where's he going to? He said, the same place. I said, I'm going to the gaff. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, here's what I'm going to do. I said, I'm going to send the box up, but I'm going to come up first, and I'm going to be waiting there because I want to see this box. And he's like, all right, sound. I said, how much was your box down by? He went, lad, like 3 ogle. I said, 3 ogle? I thought, no, you know, a box is 36 ogle, yeah. So 3 ogle down from that, it's a heavy fucking, like, you know, it's heavy, innit? So what I mean, if you're just getting like a box off someone, and then you're paying cash and all that, and then it's just piles for 3 ogles of bash, you're gonna be fuming, aren't you? And especially when he's showcasing it to his new mate or whatever he's doing, I don't know. And you know, you've got to remember, he swerved this other fair for me, who he's 100% with and knows that it sounds. So what does that make me look like? It makes me look like an absolute piece of shit, doesn't it? Oh, no way. So I said, all right, Sam. So I arranged the meet and all that. So where he said, come to a different place, because my mates live in this cul-de-sac, and they've all got a house in this cul-de-sac. So it's like 4 of them in the cul-de-sac. I'm like, all right, go on, Sam. So I get this new address off him, and it was by Walker. So I'm like, all right, Sam, I don't know what that is yet. So blah, 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 let's go. So flies down, and I flies down first. So say the lads, say my mate was coming up at like 8 o'clock at night. I was already there at like 7 o'clock. So I'm sitting there, I'm in this lad's house, and I can see everything. So my mate turns up and all that. Mate, fucking mate, a little rat. I didn't even call me mate, yeah. So he turns up and that. So the lad goes in. So then this kid texts me, yeah, come and see this. So I've just walked in the back door, right, and the lad who I've said there just goes white. And I've just been like, I said, you know, if you've done something to these bitches now, I said, what's what happens to you? And he's like, looks, and it's a different rapper again. I'm like, you cheeky little rat. I said, who do you think you are? And he's gone, he's got nothing to say, so I've just absolutely battered them in this Kenya, and I mean battered them just like, you cheeky little rat, mate. And the Newcastle lads, they know quite well now that it's nothing to do with me because of my reaction, yeah. And I know that he's supposed to be mate and these are only strangers, but nah, lad, you can't do that. When I send someone somewhere, you're representing me. If you want to start dabbling with bits and start messing with bits, you're making a show of me. Yeah, you're making a show of me. So I said to the Newcastle lads, yeah, I'll take 3 ogle off this. He's like, well, I will take this box as well. I said, nah, it's got to be cash, lad. I said, no. I said, I want to give you it on bail, lad. I said, but I can't do. And he's like, nah, there's the cash. So he got the cash to give me. So obviously I've knocked 3 ogles off the price, and I give them and all that sound, yeah. And just wiped the floor with this kid. And I was just thinking, you little rat, just left him in a pile, right? Just left him, gets off, just goes home, and just thinks, you cheeky little rat, mate. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, when your mates are doing that to you, look, think about what that could have got me a major beef right now. It could have, because these lads in Newcastle are not messing around, they're up for it. Do you know what I mean? Now, I know they don't know where he lived and all that, but they didn't need to know it, but imagine he did. And you wouldn't have cared about whether they knew where I lived or not. They didn't even ask me that. Yeah, he's just told, yeah, make a quick buck and that. And I'm just like, you little rat. So he just got his head smashed right in, right? And I just left him. I didn't even care about the clean up. I just left him and just gets off and just jumps in the car. I'm fuming and all that. And then he gets home and I phone to Newcastle lads. I'm like, what happened to him? He went, lads, he just picked himself up and he's just gone, lads. I said, yeah. He's like, lads, I said, he did like, but lads, he's lucky I didn't do him. I'm like, lads, he shut off. I said, I'm not asked. He's not doing me. And then the lad phones me up and he's like, oh, I said, lads, I said, you owe me dough. I want me fucking dough. Everything I've ever paid you, I want me dough. I said, oh, lads, only the fact I know, yeah, is why I'm not going to your Mars now. I'm absolutely giving it to you. He's like, sounds. So next day he's come round, passed me a few grand, and I've just smacked him again on my doorstep. Said, don't ever let me bump into you again, you little rat. Yeah, Scouser out.